Today we're going to be talking about this geographical landmass that's inside the planet, which is a subterranean kingdom that we call the city in Shambhala and Agartha, and how it coincides with the inception of human creation. And we're also going to be talking about an amalgamation of interdimensional and outer dimensional primordial celestial gods that come from a different star system, who are the Anunnaki. And we're going to be talking about draconian reptilians, Pleiadians, and Greys, and other humanoid extraterrestrials that come from Hollow Earth, and how it correlates to the Great Awakening in the Aquarian Age. But what you got to understand is that none of this shit is going to make sense to you if you've been mentally compromised through psychological external stimuli, which is learned behavior patterns in the brain, by way of behavioral modification, which is indoctrination by the military industrial complex education system, because these schools is not going to tell you the truth. Because in order to understand the future, you got to know what the fuck happened in the past. So with all that shit being said, we're going to get straight to it. So when you're talking about the inception of creation, as far as the planets, all these celestial bodies, the Milky Way, the galaxy, the stars, and everything in the universe, everything started with the Etherian cosmic mother. And the Etherian cosmic mother is basically the personification of the creator, right? So the Etherian cosmic mother produced non-elemental compounds, which is carbon, lithium, sulfur, helium, hydrogen, exon, radon, argon, and krypton. And those amalgamation of those non-elemental compounds basically create the manifestation of dark matter, which is melanin. And that melanin gave activation to prokaryotic cells. And those prokaryotes gave the Etherian cosmic mother to produce non-elemental compounds that basically manifested Anu, who was Elion Elion El, Allah, right? And I'm going to show you a picture of him right now. Let me see what we're going to screen share. So when you're talking about the heavenly one, you're talking about Anu, who was actually the personification of Allah, right? So Anu, when you break down the etymological roots of the word Anunnaki, it means those sent by Anu to Ki. Ki means Kai. Kai means planet Earth. So now when you look at the geometrics of the Freemasonic order symbol that I'm going to show you here, this sign right here is right under the underneath the Kemetic symbol. But when you're looking at the personification of the Freemasonic order symbol, they got all that shit from Kemet. So when you're looking at this, that's the Eye of Anu, the Eye of Allah. So when you look at the divine declaration of the Moor Science Temple at the top, you would have this eye at the top in the middle of that compass, because the G in geometry, the geo in it means key. So that means that Anu, Allah, is the supreme architect of the universe. So that's where they get the symbolism and everything from that. So now we're going to scoot back a little bit. When I was talking about as those sent by Anu to Ki, you talking about the Anunnaki, who is basically the progenitors of civilization, right? So when you're talking about the Anunnaki, you're talking about these beings right here, which is a representation of the 200 fallen angels. So when you had the 200 fallen angels, when they was projected to this planet, they basically jump-started humanity through a genetic splicing program, right? So when they came down to this planet, because they were circumnavigating the planet, looking for different minerals and resources so they could restore order on their planet, because they had a war with the draconian reptilians. So the ozone layer was destroyed and the ley lines were destroyed because it was producing so much photonic light energy on a planet. So because they got the planet they come from, it comes from a 3-sun solar system. And I'm going to show you a picture of that right now. You got 3 suns. So the original planet, when you're talking about black people, where we come from and stuff like that, our descendants, we come from a planet that has 3 suns. You have a red sun. Coming up, yeah. You have a red sun, you have a blue sun, and you have a yellow sun, which is basically in alignment to the color spectrum of Superman, right? So when you see Superman's garments, they're basically an emulation of these 3 suns, because how did Superman get his power? He drew his energy from the sun. So you see that plasma energy all around his electromagnetic aura. So now when you look at the symbolism on his chest, the logo of Superman, that is basically a pyramid with a serpent in the middle. And the serpent is basically the personification of the pineal gland that is activated by neuromelanin and carbonated energy, right? So that's where they get all these, you know, I'm not trying to be intrusive or cynical, but when you understand genetics intuitively, you will know where they get these, you know, these allegorical stories from, and they put it in these movies. Because like I said, it's by way of cosmic law. They have to tell you the truth, but they just put their faces on it to keep you from operating outside of your sovereign and your spiritual capacity. Because the Caucasoid and all these other 6 Etherian beings, they only have 2%, 3% melanin, right? Since they only got 2%, 3% melanin, they cannot activate that non-ether genetic, which gives them the metaphysical abilities to levitate, to fly, and do all these things, because you have to have carbonated, neuromelanated genetical properties that put you in alignment with the universe to where you can draw your energy from the source, which is the sun, which makes you a humanoid god. So now, so as I was telling you, when we was projected to this planet,